A few days ago, I uploaded a video called The Unspoken Islamic Slave Trade. Now, likewise with that video, in this video, I'm going to make my disclaimer first. I hold nobody personally responsible. However, I do reserve the right to be wary, suspicious, and cautious. The reason for this video is a reply to a comment made on that video. I've noticed the notifications on that video stated that there's 8 comments, but I can't find them. So either the people who made those comments removed them, or maybe YouTube removed them, but they're not there. I can't find them, even though it says 8 comments. Anyway, so let me respond to the comment that was made on that video. Now, I can't remember your name, but hopefully you'll be watching this. You said what you wrote. I may not say it exactly, but I'll sum up what you've said. You said that the reason why nobody cares about the Islamic slave trade is because the transatlantic slave trade was much more scummier, much more worse, much more brutal. And you made a point saying when a white man commits a terrorist act, he's not called a terrorist. And yeah, you went in that direction, but that was not what my video was about. So we'll park that terrorist business because that's another subject for another day. Anyway, so let's go back to the point that you said no one cares about the Islamic slave trade because the transatlantic slave trade was more scummier and more brutal. Okay, what I wrote in response, just in case you didn't see it, hence why I'm making this video, is you indirectly made my point for me, because in that video I said that the black slave descendants such as myself has more rights in Western countries post transatlantic slave trade than the blacks post Islamic slave trade. And as we all know, like the civil rights movements and discrimination laws and everything, life in a lot of ways hasn't been great for blacks in the Western world, though there have been improvements, and we welcome those improvements. There's still a little way to go, but still, overall, I mean, I'd rather be living in 2018 than in 1958, especially in the southern states of America. So, you know, I count my blessings. So let's come back to your point, and the point that you didn't realize you've just made. You said the transatlantic slave trade was more brutal and more scummier. So let's compare the lives of a black person in the West compared to a black person in the Middle East. Now, this is where you have the opportunity to correct me, because I don't really know much about the Middle East. I only go by the impression I have. So that's for you to correct me if I'm wrong. And I am welcome to be stood corrected. So I reserve the right to be wrong. So let's move on. Less of the waffling, Ron. Okay. So blacks in the West. Let's examine the life for blacks in the West. Right. Let's start off with football, for example. You look at the World Cup, such as teams like England, Holland, France. Look at the amount of black players they have in their national team. Then compare that to the amount of black players in the national team for Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Iran, Turkey. You can see there's a clear difference. Let's move on to the opportunities and rights for blacks in the West. Numerous film stars. List is too long to mention, right? You know that. You know, Denzel Washington. I don't know, Jamie Foxx. The list goes on and on and on. Politicians. I can't say her name, but her surname is Rice. I can't say. Let's call her Condoleezza Rice, for argument's sake. Then you got talk show hosts like Oprah Winfrey. You got black inventors such as Lewis Latimer. Google Lewis Latimer, Garrett Morgan, just to name a few. You got opportunity. There's black people have made money in the West. So my invitation to you is now give me the Middle Eastern equivalent of what I've just quoted to you now. Right? And so also if life is so wonderful under the Islamic laws as such as Saudi Arabia and well, this is the Middle East. Okay, question for you: the refugees that is risking their lives across the Mediterranean, why are they not flocking to Middle Eastern countries? If life is so freaking wonderful there, why are they got their targets aimed at the West, and particularly the UK? If life is so wonderful in Saudi Arabia, Iran, Yemen, them places, go there, go there. So before I leave, I've got a task for the black jihadists. Those of you thinking of going to is it Syria or Al-Qaeda, where it is, to join ISIS. When you make it there amongst your Arab brothers and sisters, ask them this question. Ask them, what does the word abid mean? See if they'll tell you. See if they'll be honest and tell you, what does word abid mean? What's the origin of the word abid? Okay, so that's my reply to you. So you have the opportunity to put me right. The stage is yours. Okay. If you prove me wrong, I'll put my hand up and say, well, you was right, I was wrong. I don't have no shame or embarrassment for being in the wrong. My ego doesn't stretch that far. There's no disgrace in being wrong. Okay, so there we are. So stage is yours. You could answer these questions. You could give me a link, or just prove me wrong. Thank you very much. And like I said, I don't hold you personally responsible. Like I said in the other video, you're more than welcome to be my friend. But I do reserve the right, until I get to know you, to wonder what the hell you're thinking about me. Okay? Thank you very much. Have a great day. It's a wonderful day here in London. And see you till next time.